Hey guys, it's Logan, and welcome back to this channel. Today I will be doing a mock draft post, Sam Darnold trade post for Niners trading to the number 3 spot and all these major trades. I haven't done one in a while, so there's a lot of different stuff to talk about. But first, congratulations to Julian Edelman. He has announced his retirement as after being a longtime Patriots receiver. I'm pretty sure 3-time Super Bowl champion. Correct me if I'm wrong, but congrats to him. Had a pretty good career with the Patriots. And time to get into it. We already know who's going number one, no matter what. It is Trevor Lawrence. So, just really good prospect. I don't need to tell you this, but um, Trevor Lawrence will be going number one, unless some crazy happens, which I don't anticipate. It will at the number one spot. Next, the Jets. This is an interesting pick. A lot of people say Matt or Zach Wilson. They could go wide receiver. You have Jamar Chase, uh, Jalen Waddle. They could go corner with Patrick Surtain. Um, I've seen like one or two people say Mac Jones. I don't love Mac Jones. Or you could go Justin Fields or Trey Lance. Sorry. But I do think they end up going Zach Wilson. They've already traded Sam Darnold away, so you need that future franchise quarterback who can hopefully be your future franchise quarterback. They've had like 11 quarterbacks in like the past, or like since 96, I want to say, which is a lot. Next, the 49ers. This is also going to be a quarterback. It's just a matter of who do you like? Who do you want your successor to Jimmy Garoppolo? Who do you want that to be? So I've seen a lot of people say Mac Jones. I don't love that. I feel like Kyle Shanahan wants or would benefit from a more versatile guy. Um, Someone who has bigger physical attributes, who's more mobile, someone like a Trey Lance or like a Justin Fields. So I am definitely not going Mac Jones with this pick. Um, I I would say Justin Fields has been in a higher competitive or more competitive division, but I think you go Trey Lance just because he seems to possess bigger physical attributes, and you can coach him up. Like you can have Jimmy Garoppolo start this year and kind of transition him with Trey Lance, uh, and I just think Kyle Shanahan would love that. So Falcons. I I've seen more and more people mock them with Kyle Pitts. Um, I've also seen more and more people like get them to trade out of this pick. Um, so for me, it's a matter of do you take Justin Fields as your next quarterback to like sit behind Matt Ryan for a year or two? Sorry, I'm just gonna move my camera down. Do you take Justin Fields, like I said, to sit behind Matt Ryan, learn the system, get comfortable with it, bring Justin Fields back to Georgia, or do you get Kyle Pitts to potentially be like, obviously it says tight end is a big need. That's true. They don't have Austin Hooper anymore. Like, who's your best tight end? Hayden Hurst. He's not great. Plus, Kyle Pitts is a very good player. Obviously, he's ranked above all other receivers. Um, Very, uh, I don't want to say versatile. I don't want to say he's a versatile weapon just because that's kind of already taken by another YouTube channel. But he is a very versatile weapon. He is extreme. Like you can't really cover him. I'm pretty sure he ran like a 4.4, which is just crazy for a tight end. Like a linebacker ain't gonna be able to keep up with you. Corner ain't gonna cover you because you're too big for them. So I mean, I feel like the only person who can potentially cover you is a safety, possibly. But do you really want like your free safety to um, cover Kyle Pitts all game instead of like playing over the top? Or so it's just interesting with that. So I trying to think what I've done in the past. I know I've always done these two in the past. I know I've given Jamar Chase to the Dolphins, but they don't hold that pick anymore. Um, hmm. I hmm, I'm gonna take Kyle Pitts with this pick. Yeah, yeah. I think he is too good to pass up. Um, and yeah, yeah. All right. Next, the Bengals. Can't really change that now, but the Bengals, you can go Jamar Chase with this one, reunite Joe Burrow and his college wide receiver. Or you could go Panay Sewell, try and shore up that line. Or you can even go Rashawn Slater, who I think is more NFL ready. But Panay Sewell is just a better prospect because he's, you know, better physically, if you want to say that. So I have mocked them with Panay Sewell. Today I'll give him Rashawn Slater because why not? And then now you have the Dolphins. They traded down and they still are probably gonna pick or they're gonna get who they would have ultimately picked. That is Jamar Chase. He's gonna be a big. Uh, he's gonna be your separator. Like they don't have a big separator. He can be that guy. He can also like high point the football, and so I think Jamar Chase to the Dolphins fits pretty well. All right, so now with the Lions, um, I've seen them get Patrick Surtain. I've seen them grab Jalen Waddle and some other mocks. I personally still like them taking a quarterback. Um, you can have him sit behind uh, Jared Goff for like a year and then cut him because his contract is worth a lot of money. And you get to save a lot of money when you would cut him. So I like them taking a quarterback. I don't think that'll happen. They seem pretty confident in Jared Goff. I don't really get that. So I think it's probably one of these two, Patrick Surtain or Jalen Waddle. I think they go Jalen Waddle. You don't have that big, or you don't have a like true receiver, I guess. I mean, who's your biggest guy? I'm trying to think of Lions receivers. I'm not sure Marvin Jones is still there. Quintus Cephas, who was a rookie last year. I mean, you got TJ Hawkinson, who is probably your best receiver. You really need another guy to help shore up everything. So that brings us to the Panthers. Um, this one's interesting because you could get a quarterback even though they just traded for one, make things more interesting. I'm not going to just because I don't think they should get a quarterback. Tight end, you don't have like who you're gonna get at. Uh, who are you gonna get at tight end? Like the best one is Pat Fryermuth, and he's like 56th ranked in this site. And you have like the 8th overall pick. So I think quarterback and tight end are both out. That leaves you corner and tackle. Uh, so they could take Patrick Surtain, try and shore up their secondary. They didn't have an amazing um, pass defense last year, or you could try and protect Sam Darnold or Teddy Bridgewater or whoever's going to be back there. Pretty sure Teddy Bridgewater has been looking for a trade. But I'm gonna give him Penei Sewell. I think that's good value at that spot, and I think that they could really like use it. I know you have Taylor Moton, but I don't know who else their other tackle is. Which doesn't say much. But next to my beloved Broncos. This is an interesting spot. I've seen people give them Mac Jones. I do not want Mac Jones. I don't like Mac Jones. Um, it's not that he's a bad player. He's just not what I want. I don't really want a quarterback in this spot. Um, Obviously, I like Justin Fields because you probably seen me rocking the OSU gear. Um, I am an OSU fan, but I don't necessarily want a quarterback. I say try and give Drew Lock another year in a system that he can actually develop in instead of a Corona year. And like give him that time to train and work out and practice with these young wide receivers because we do have a very young receiver core. Um, I mean, you got Jerry Judy and KJ Hamler, who are both, uh, or who were both rookies last year. You have Tim Patrick and Cortland Sutton, Cortland Sutton, who have been there for I want to say about 3 years, possibly two, maybe four. Um, that's pretty good range. But overall, you do have a very young wide receiver core, and then you have like Noah Fant, um, who is also pretty young. So I do think you give him that time to develop and test him this one last year. If he doesn't perform or if you don't see any progression or enough progression from him, then yeah, it's time to move on. Like if he throws another 20 picks this year, I say, yeah, boot him. Um, but if he shows that, hey, I can be your franchise quarterback, um, then yeah, I think you do have to probably uh like stick with them. Um, and at first when they drafted Drew Lock, I hated the pick. I really wanted them just to grab someone else, and then tank this year and like no, Drew Lock was 2 seasons ago. Um, Yeah, I really wanted them to tank this year and like get the best quarterback available. Obviously, it worked out because we got Jerry Judy, which I kind of love Jerry Judy. He's great, but um, I I didn't want Drew Lock. He has grown on me. I kind of like him now, but this is just a long-winded explanation why I don't want a quarterback at this spot. So then it's do you want Patrick Surtain, who can be another good um, corner? Obviously, so there have been injury concerns about Caleb Farley. He's now ranked below Greg Newsome and J.C. Horn when he was like the number one corner in the draft, but that's just because he has had very bad injuries. He had like a spinal thing a couple of weeks ago. So you can go Patrick Surtain. You can go J.C. Horn. I don't really want J.C. Horn. I think Patrick Surtain would be a better fit. Or you can go Micah Parsons. Have another really good linebacker. Obviously, there's some off the field stuff with him. So I think Not okay. I was afraid that I accidentally drafted someone there. I think you do go Patrick Surtain. I think he fits pretty well in the Broncos defense. I think he can be um, a good player for the Broncos. So I am giving him to the Broncos. Next, the Cowboys. I've not this for. I kind of just did this video on the fly, and I have not planned out anything. Um, hmm. Yeah, I mean Justin Fields and Mac Jones have dropped a lot. I mean especially Justin Fields, but I don't think Cowboys need a quarterback. Um, so I think you do need corner. You could go J.C. Horn. You could try and shore up offensive your O line. You could get Christian Darrisaw. Or I really like Christian Darrisaw. Or you could get Tevin Jenkins. He seems to be pretty good. I've heard a lot of good stuff about him. You could get Christian Barmore. You don't really have a that solid of a D tackle. Um, or you could try and get like Elijah or Tucker. I think it's a bit of a reach. I think he will probably go about the Vikings. Um, I might mock him there. Uh, but I think this is a spot for a corner. You don't have any amazing ones, or you do. Uh, like after J.C. Horn or above J.C. Horn. Uh, the next is Greg Newsome. I don't think they should take Greg Newsome, so I'll give him J.C. Horn. A lot more corners early than I expected. Okay, Giants. So this one's interesting because again, you have a lot of options. You could go Devontae Smith, um, get a good wide receiver. You could try and go edge. Uh, whoa, Gregory Rousseau really fell off, man. Hmm. Uh, Try and get one of these guys. I don't love Jalen Phillips just because he has had a lot of injury stuff, and I'm pretty sure he just tested positive for COVID, which isn't great. And then Cody Pay also dropped a lot. Um, so I don't love edge here. And then you have obviously you still have the number one linebacker on this board. So you could go linebacker. I don't really think it's the spot for corner just because Greg Newsome is rated so or like over here, and then so is Caleb Farty. He's not even ranked in the first round. I think he can be a first rounder though. He probably will be, but I think just again injury concerns. So with that being said, I think your best bet is probably shore up that linebacker spot. Get Micah Parsons, and yeah, that brings us to the Eagles. Mm, this is an interesting pick. A lot of people a lot of Eagles fans, I think, would hate me if I grabbed or gave them Justin Fields, just because I think, or I've heard like, oh, Jalen Hurts is the man. I don't think he's the man, but that quarterback is really tempting right there. You don't have a very good quarterback room. You could also try and grab your next wide receiver. Like, yeah, you got Jalen Rager last year, but he wasn't anything like supremely special. Pretty sure he was injured most of the year. Uh, you could go corner. I still think it's pretty early for another corner. You could go safety again. I think it's early for another safety. People seem to be really high on Trayvon Merrick. I personally think that you don't really need to grab safety in the first round unless it's like some generational talent like the Sean Taylors of the world or the um like the Jamal Adams or the Tyrann Matthews. Um so I yeah, I think it's between Devontae Smith and Justin Fields. That's where I'm at right now. Because again, tight end is your best one's Pat Freiermuth. He's rated 54th on this. So I think Justin Fields or Devontae Smith. Um, hmm, yeah, this is interesting. I I'm going to give him Devontae Smith. Yeah, I don't love that. I feel like, yeah, I just don't feel like Justin Fields would be the best in Philly, and I think wide receiver is a bigger need. That brings us to the Chargers. This one I think should be O line or edge. Again, I think it's a bit too early for edge. Um, so I think you. That's not what I clicked, but okay. I do think you go O line. I really like Christian Darrisaw. That's just me. If this will load. Um, so I will give them Christian Darrisaw. Show up that O line. Protect Justin Herbert. Yep, forgot his name for a second. All right, so that brings us to the or not Patriots, the Vikings. I said this before, but I think Elijah Vera Tucker is pretty good fit. It's about his range. They need IOL help, so there you go. Bob's your uncle. Patriots. It's Justin Fields fell a lot. I think that's partially due to me not like planning this out, but I think he will not go past the Patriots. Um, he you could grab Mac Jones. I don't think they should grab Mac Jones when you have Justin Fields on the board. So Justin Fields to the Patriots. You just really need quarterback help. He can be your guy. That brings us to the Cardinals. Um, I think first round to, especially at pick 16, a little too early for a running back. Who did I give J.C. Horn to? I gave him to the Cowboys. I don't love that. Yeah, I don't love that. Um, you could reach a little bit for Greg Newsome. You could try Caleb Farley. Hope he doesn't have much more injury. Um, or you could go running back. Obviously, you have really, if it's a load, you do have really good running backs. I personally don't agree with that. I think Najee Harris should be head of Travis Etienne. But you could go running back. I do think it's a bit early in the first round. So I think you do test Caleb Farley. Um, hope he doesn't get injured. Where was he? Wait, wasn't? Oh, he's 34. Alright. Yeah. Hope he doesn't get injured. Hope he's like a really good player for you. So Caleb Farley to the Raiders, or not the Raiders, Cardinals. That brings us to the Raiders. This is, I think, either linebacker or edge. Um, you did get what's his name, Yannick Ngakwe. So I think this makes more sense for it to be a linebacker. I really like Zayvon Collins, but I do think Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah does make a bit more sense from a bigger school, which I know that doesn't especially matter, but it just seems like it fits the Raiders more. Now you got the Dolphins again. This can be edge, though I don't know who you would take with this. Because I've seen Gregory Rousseau go to them a lot, but he has dropped so far down. I do think he's better than Joe Tryon and Ronnie Perkins, but um, you can try Jalen Phillips. He again has had injury history in the past, especially with concussions, which is not the best thing to have injured. But do you go running back? Where's running back? Do you go running back? Try one of these guys. I think you do. Yeah. I personally like Najee Harris better. I think he'll be a more stable back, so I'll give him to the Dolphins. Okay, now Washington. This is an interesting pick because Mac Jones is just sitting there. But, this is a big but, you do have Ryan Fitzpatrick and Taylor Heineke. Can't forget about Taylor Heineke. Um, so you can get Mac Jones. Or do you get Tevin Jenkins and shore up that offensive line? Or do you get a running back? And who is their running back? Because it ain't Darius Geis. He's no. I cannot think of who their running back is. I feel like J.D. McKissick was one of them, but there were like two of them. I think overall you do get Tevin Jenkins. Help shore up that offensive line. This has been a weird draft. I'm not loving it, but then again, probably should have planned it out better. Um, that leaves the Bears. Mac Jones sitting right in your lap. He has fallen a lot. I think as the Bears, you swoop him up. Um, that leads us to the or not the Cardinals. I'm not speaking well today. That leaves you to the Colts. They desperately need a uh, tackle. Wow, some people have fallen. Alex Leatherwood fell. Jalen Mayfield fell. That's really all I can see. I mean, Dylan Radunz went up. Liam Meichenberg and Sam Cosmi kind of fell. So, just based on these, I think you can get one of these pretty good guys in the second round. But maybe not. I think if you really think one of these guys is good, or is really good, and can shore up that spot that Anthony Costanzo left, then I think you do need to take one of these guys. Um, so I've given them Sam Cosmi in the past. He's the highest rated one, so I do think you take Sam Cosmi. That leaves us to the Titans. This has got to be edge. I'm trying to think of what edge they've gotten. I can't think of edge. It says edge has fallen pretty down on their like most needed. So then you go to corner. Greg Newsome sitting right there. I think grab Greg Newsome. Yeah, I mean purely based on ratings and that, and Edge is so far down, and I can't think of who they got for Edge, which is stupid because it's probably like someone really good. It might be Trey Hendrickson. I don't think it is. It might be. Anyway, I think you go Greg Newsome. Um, that leads you to the Jets. They probably would. I probably would have given Greg Newsome to them if he wasn't taken the pick before. But I think this is a spot for edge. I think you try Jalen Phillips. He is probably would have been the best if he doesn't have injury concerns, or health concerns, and head injury concerns. Um, so I think you try that out. Steelers. I think maybe this is a spot for running back, possibly, because James Conner be gone. But then again, you really need O line help. Like Alejandro Villanueva gone. So I mean, and what Davis fell. That's not fun. I like him. Oh, there's Josh Myers. But so you do need help, and Marquise Pouncey. Yeah, Marquise. Because his brother also retired. He retired, so I mean, you do need center help. But then you look at corner; they don't have much at corner. Um, so this could be corner. I think I might give them a running back. Yeah, I'm gonna give them a running back. Why not? Alright, that leads us to the Jaguars. They need O line help. I'll I'll give them Dylan Radens. Good player, blocking for Trey Lance. Why not? Something different. Alright, for the Browns, this could be an edge. You have a very good pick of who you want. Only one edge has been taken. Or you could go linebacker. I personally like Zaven Collins a lot. Um, so this is a factor of, do you think edge is more of a concern, and who do you want? I think Quiddy Pay has fallen a lot, especially since he was like maybe the 10th best rated in this. But do my nose is itchy. Do you get edge and try and help out Miles Garrett, or do you get linebacker and one of these like really good guys? I think you get edge. I don't know how Cody Pay would fare in the system, but why not? Yeah, sure. Um, I'll give Cody Pay to them. Yeah. Alright. Ravens, they also need edge, but they also need safety. I've seen Trayvon Merrick mock to them a lot. I'll continue that. Give them Trayvon Merrick. Alright. Saints, that's what they're called. Uh, Jalen Collins is sitting right here. Really good player. I'll give him that, or I'll give the Saints him. Um, Packers, this could be a spot for O line, or it could be a spot for wide receiver. I really like Rashad Bateman. I really like Kadarius Toney. I think Kadarius Toney is better than Elijah Moore. Um, yeah. Diamond Brown's that low. Yeah. So I mean, you could go wide receiver. I think it's a better spot for wide receiver than either of the other two. Where am I at? Like, okay. So I think you go wide receiver, but this is a question of, do you want like another bigger bodied receiver? Because you have Alan Lazard, who's like 6'3". You have Equinemius St. Brown, who's like 6'5". You have Marquez Valdez Scantling, who's like, I want to say, I know he's above 6 foot. I'm not exactly sure how tall he is. Um, but you have a lot of these bigger receivers. So, do you want to take Rashad Bateman, or do you want to try and go with like a Kadarius Toney or Rondale Moore, who are better with like they're smaller guys? Yeah, I think actually Kadarius Toney might be like 6'1" or 5'11", one of the two. Um, but who are like really elusive with the balls in their hands. Um, so I uh I don't really love Kadarius Toney on the Packers. I don't know why. It just doesn't jive with me. Um, I think you probably go Rashad Bateman. Yeah. All right. Bills. I'll give him Azeez Ojulari. I like him a lot. He's pretty good, man. Joseph Osai fell. Boogie Basham fell. Quincy Roche fell. Um, man, I know Deo. Oda Yingbo. Yep, he fell a lot. Man, Patrick Jones fell. I haven't seen this list in a while. A lot of people fell. That's kind of crazy. Okay, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. I think you go Aziz Ojolari. I've seen that mock to them a couple times. Then onto the Chiefs. Ooh, this one's. You could get a bigger guy in Terrace Marshall, or you could get another like speed. Not speed. He's not like a pure burner, but you could get another like really elusive guy on your team. Try and fill like the whole Sammy Watkins is a bigger guy. I think you actually go Terrace Marshall here. Bigger receiver. I'm not liking this draft. Um yeah, bigger receiver can fill um like the spot that Sammy Watkins left. And then onto the Bucks, I think you do go Kadarius Toney can be a really elusive guy for you. Obviously, you do have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, and I think Gronk returned to them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. But you also have um, Scotty Miller is okay. Um, I know you have like some younger guys that are pretty good, but I do think you do need another receiver. Obviously, this thing says their fourth. It's their fourth biggest need. So I think you go receiver. Keep Kadarius Toney in Florida. I didn't realize that, but yep. I think that's the way to go. So yeah. Thank you everyone for watching. Sorry, this is kind of discombobulating. I didn't really plan this out well, or at all, really. But I think overall it turned out pretty good. I'm happy with like I'm always like happier with the first, um, with the earlier stuff. I don't love the JC Horn pick. I don't really know why I did that. Um, yeah. I don't think Justin Fields should have fallen that far. Uh, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe and all of that. And as always, thank y'all so very much. Peace.